Hey everybody, welcome to WeLikeDota and the WeLikeDota Community Night. This is game 2 of the night. Joining me tonight, as we prefer to have, is TugzMcBoat. Tugs, would you like to say hi to the audience?
Eh.
Oh no, this is going to be a great game, huh?
Alright, I guess I'll say hey. What's up,
Yay!
everybody? Game 2.
Game
Game number
2.
1 went the way of whoever was on Dire. That included, I'm not going to call him Fiery Frog. I'm calling him Mini Bunny.
You can if you guess,
Little
but
Rabbit. B Rabbit. That's what I'm
yeah,
calling him. I'm calling
ba
him B Rabbit.
Baby Rabbit. But no, it is the Fiery Frog, if anybody wants to find him. Yep, that is my son. Yeah, so give him a
Like a
shout out
sick
sometime.
rookie game this time around. He was like, you know what? I'm going to save the Radiant side for my dominance, and I'm going to ban him for you. Don't even have to worry about countering him. Just going to do it for you guys.
That's right. Yeah, he's a mean Ricky player. He knows what he's doing.
So, but yeah, so this is 6.84, so I have no idea what the meta is, so I'm going to offer absolutely no insight as to whether or not these drafts are good or not, because I have no idea.
Nice.
So,
I don't think anybody knows yet what's going on. I mean, I did glance at Dota Buff today, and one thing that, like, most of it was pretty normal, pretty much what you'd expect, pretty close to 6.83. But one thing that's a standout is I can tell you that Crystal Maiden was at, like, top 6 for win
really,
percentage.
really,
Can you believe that?
I don't. Okay, what did they buff? They buffed her.
They,
Wait, they
they
buff
buffed,
anything?
yeah,
I know they buffed something. They
so
buffed
that,
cast point.
mostly it was cooldowns. It was,
Cooldown on the frozen or the crystal
it,
nova, but it was
it
worse at level 1, better at level 4, right?
um,
Oh, and the slow. They brought the slow back. That's right.
yeah,
They
they
brought the
they
slow
did
back.
bring the slow
Slow.
back,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
for
Okay.
the Frost Nova.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they buffed the cooldowns by a little bit on all three of her castable abilities.
I'll tell you what is another thing, because an item for her that's really good, Glimmer. It's
Yeah.
cheap, it's really affordable, and what she can do is she can cast Glimmer on herself, ult,
Hmm.
and then if they don't, and then she in a 0.4-second fade delay, and then she's invisible. It's cheaper than a Shadow Blade. It gives her armor, which she desperately needs because she's squishy as all hell, and I believe it gives move. It gives magic resistance.
Yes, it does. Magic
And
resistance.
does it give move speed? No,
No.
it does not give move speed. But it doesn't matter. Like that item's perfect for her because she can use it on other heroes, which is what supports do. When she channels her ultimate, she can. Does it interrupt channeling? Does she have to cast it
No.
before she ults?
No, it does not interrupt channeling.
So she can channel and then cast that on herself. So
Yes.
okay. So while she's channeling,
Hmm.
she is invisible and she takes 66% damage reduction on magic damage.
Yes.
She's still susceptible to physical damage, but 10 extra armor.
Yes. There is a fade delay. It's like zero point 0.4 seconds or something.
Yeah, that's not that long. So
No.
basically, like she has to. The only way to stop that ult is for her to eat a nuke. But I mean, she's gonna take
Or vision,
66.
but yeah.
Well, well, yeah. I mean, they're gonna know it's there anyway because of the.
Hmm.
The giant ice balls that are falling from the sky.
Right.
But she either so they either have to right click her down, which she
Right.
has armor increased, so she should survive the duration of the ult, which is gonna deal so much damage that no one wants to stand in there for longer than they have to.
That's true.
Or
That's
B
probably
she has
wise.
or B she has to eat a nuke, and she gets 66% damage reduction. Like when I say nuke, like I mean stunning nukes.
Right.
I mean even like burst damage. Like even if they had like a lean or something who didn't have her stun up for whatever reason, like even like a Laguna Blade and all that other stuff stun is not going to bring her down low enough to kill her. So she
Hmm.
has to eat a stun, and they have to have vision of her is the only way to stop that. Which is not really what you're looking to do like against a Crystal Maiden at you know maybe 16 or 20 minutes into the game because
Right.
it's such a good build up. Um, so I would be shocked if that's not a core item on her. I actually haven't seen her played yet, so I'm not sure. But
I haven't either, but I suspect you're right. Just the fact that she can come online with that combination earlier now is probably the reason. Hmm.
they did not change Vengeful Spirit, correct?
I don't
She's
remember seeing anything in the patch notes. No.
okay.
So anyway, what do you think of this lineup we've got going here?
Um, it's a little surprising. I honestly thought the meta was going to skew itself towards spellcaster cores.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy team fight, a lot of AoE control, a lot of AoE damage, and right now we see basically a bunch of counters to those types of heroes.
Right.
um, Omni Knight with the repel, Bristleback. It's just, I mean, he's just tanking, dealing a lot of physical damage. But then even on the flip side, like Alchemist is a lot of physical damage. Vengeful Spirit is a lot of physical damage. Centaur Warrunner is, with the exception of Stomp, is all physical damage. I believe Stampede is physical.
Let's find out. Hmm.
It does not say.
It does not. They should really do that in the tooltip series. Tell us what type of damage it is.
Yeah, I don't know what. I think it's physical.
That would make sense, but I don't know.
You know
It's
what? No, it
Dota.
has. It doesn't pierce spell immunity, so it's probably magical. It
Okay.
doesn't make sense because everything else on him is physical. I mean, Host Stomp's magical, but the
Oh, it does. It does tell us
most.
damage types on the others.
Yeah,
Why doesn't
which
it
is,
say on the alt?
I don't know.
Ugh. Oh, Dota.
I do not know.
Volvo, please fix.
Yeah, but yeah, interesting. So what I thought would be a mostly magical spellcaster heavy type line, because even like the new items, like with the exception of the medallion upgrade and the shadow edge, they greatly nope. And there's the invoker, so there's one of them. I really want this game to go long. I really want to see a level 25 invoker.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Did you see the change they made to his deafening blast?
Yes, that's why I want to see the level 25 invoker.
Yeah.
I was
So,
looking at the damage info. It is better than Ravage.
oh wow, that's
Yes,
pretty cool.
it's the cast time is quicker. The 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 AOE expanding outwards is faster. The
Hmm.
disable is longer, and uh the damage is better.
Wow. So for those in the audience who haven't seen the patch notes yet, Invoker's deafening blast when he reaches max stats will actually radiate out in all directions from him. Before deafening blast used to go like what, like a 90-degree arc in front of him or something.
I don't even know if it was that. Like,
Yeah,
I think it like I mean if like, it's I think when it goes out in all circles, there's 8. So whatever 360 divided by 8 is
sure, something
45.
like that. Anyway, so like a small arc in front of him, but now it's like all around him, where he's the center of the blast.
Yeah, and not only that, but so like with Ravage, like they get stunned in place. Like if you're trying to push high ground
Uh
and
huh.
an Invoker blinks behind you and then
Oh,
uses his I don't like I'm gonna call it nuclear blast,
right,
and he uses the nuke. It does more damage. It disables you for longer, and it pushes you back up into high ground. Like it's
right.
insane. Like it
Yes,
would be an overpowered ult if you did get if it was like a level 6 ult, but you have to get it at level 25, so it kind of that's kind of the offset there. But yeah, like it is ridiculously overpowered, but
uh huh.
you have to be level 25. So
Is that what it is? You have to
yep,
you have to be level 25 before all of your stats are maxed
yep,
or something? Oh, okay.
yep, yeah.
I
It's the
gotcha.
only way. Because you know what? That's interesting because I guess you could save the last couple levels of exhort, or I mean of invoke.
Uh-huh.
I mean it said level 25, so I think it does have to be level 25. But that would be interesting if like
You
if
could,
you
yeah,
could
not get all of your invokes. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I guess the earliest you could get it would be 22. So I mean, it's still you're
sure.
still talking about a game having to go 45 minutes before you got that.
Yeah, and at that point it's probably not worth it. I mean, invoke is actually really valuable, so I don't know.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think at that point a lot of invokers, like if they get to that level, tend to go ags, so they just get the 2 seconds
Cooldown.
regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, you don't see most invokers don't really get a second level until it depends on what if they go quas exhort, they really don't get another one until they at least got 4 and 4.
Uh-huh.
Uh, just so
Right.
that they can make sure they can get the double forge spirits up, and then on a quas flex, you really don't want to do it until past level 7 to get the extra damage from the standard combo, which is tornado cold snap EMP.
Right.
So, I think most invokers grab a second level. Like I said, it depends on kind of how you're building it, but not until 15 or so, 15, 14 is
Mm,
usually when you see the second level picked up.
yeah, that sounds about right. So, you're definitely an invoker player if you're able to talk the numbers, so.
I'm not very good at it.
But you've played him before.
I
I
mean,
usually,
I just play enough Dota. Like, I mean,
yeah.
there are heroes that I have maybe, God, 7 games on or less, but I know how the heroes play just because when you play so many games of Dota, like you just know
Yeah,
how heroes work.
true that. I do love Invoker. I've played him a good amount. Though I learned him on Quas Exort, and so I'm not super experienced on the Quas Wex, though I understand that that's pretty powerful too, so.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, the damage is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And it wrecks certain heroes pretty hard.
Sure.
Any sort of like int based hero in the mid lane against a Quas Wexing Invoker is really annoying.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially with the EMPs and everything.
So I really hope to see an Ags on the Wraith King because I want to see
Mm-hmm. That
because
is exciting, yes.
so they really only have one. They have to make sure they get off um Guardian Angel. So if he's able to get an Ags, like in theory, because like once you go into Wraith mode, like you can't be targeted. Um, you're invincible for 5 seconds. So like, I imagine a scenario in this game where we see Dire initiate onto Omni Knight and blow him up before you can get off Guardian Angel, but
Mm-hmm.
because Wraith King has an Ags, he comes back as the Wraith, summons Guardian Angel, and then dissipates. Like, I kind of want to see that because that's the reason why you get Ags on a Wraith King is big spells that weren't able to get off in team fights because they got focused down. So
Yeah, sure.
if you want to do the player introductions,
Yeah, why don't we
feel
do that?
free.
All
Yeah.
right. So we've got Iraq Al Rawi on Bristleback, Calvin Smokes Wex on Wraith King. Somebody is on the Invoker. You would think Calvin Smokes Wex would be on the Invoker, but oh well.
Does he play him?
Anarch. Sorry, what?
Does he play him a lot?
I don't know. I just thought that the Wex was a reference to Quas Wex Exort, but
Oh.
I could
Oh,
be
okay.
wrong. I don't know. This is Dota. Who knows?
I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, our Anarchies is on Omni Knight, BS Austin is on Lion. On the dire side, we have the Fiery Frog, my son, on Vengeful Spirit. Sniper Pinoy is on Lena. Ray Agni is on Alchemist. Cheese Whiz on Juggernaut, and Fritz on Centaur Warrunner. And I
Yeah.
missed the runes.
It's okay. The Alchemist was AFK in base. I don't know what happened there with him. Yeah, but usually like you want to try to make sure you secure a rune for your Alchemist that 4 times gold bounty at level, at zeros at the start of the game is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Last hits. So on the mid lane, Invoker versus Lena. I think Lena should have the advantage in here, especially against the Quas Exhort Invoker. Lena should definitely have the advantage, especially if the Invoker wants to go heavy towards the Exhort instead of the Quas.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be a favor for Lena in lane, but we'll catch up on that. The Juggernaut in top. Um, I don't know if we'll be able to see it this much, but Juggernaut himself didn't get too many direct nerfs, but changes to items and a couple other things I think we're going to set him back. Nerfs to the Quelling Blade, he can't jungle quite as fast. Nerf to the Blade Fury cooldown means you kind of force him to get more than just one level in it, because otherwise in an extended team fight, he's not going to be able to cast it twice. And then also the changes to Ghost Scepter, so that if the support's by Ghost Scepter this game and he decides to Omni Slash them, there's nothing he can do and they can TP out. And his ult no longer causes a mini stun, so if someone is trying to TP out, if he doesn't have enough damage to get it off in a couple right clicks during Omni Slash, they're gonna get out of there. So no, big nerfs to, the stats or anything like that on Juggernaut, but a couple changes to some items, a couple reductions in cooldowns, and yeah, the hero got nerfed pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But he still does what he does. A lot of attack speed, invulnerability during old magic immunity. Nothing was changed on his stat gain or his damage. Just a few changes to a couple of the items and the way they interact with each other. And I think that was enough to bring him kind of down to like the tier 2 phase.
Yeah, well, I don't really hate that change. I gotta say, he was a little bit OP in 6.83, so
Yep.
I'm happy to see him more balanced. I don't want to see him go away completely or anything, but I would like to see uh, other right-click carry type heroes be able to move to the forefront as well.
Oh, definitely. And I actually played him a lot, like in 6.82 and 6.83,
Mm-hmm.
like at the beginning before he got found out. And then once everyone started complaining about it, and I didn't play him.
I see. You're
Like
too
that.
trendy for that, huh?
No, I played the shit out of Storm Spirit.
Oh, you're such a troll.
Like
That's not
I,
okay.
I went down one. Yeah, no. I played a ton of Storm Spirit
Ugh.
in 6.83.
Oh man, you and Blitz. That's
Yeah,
Blitz's thing too. He just plays Storm Spirit after Storm Spirit. I've
pretty
heard
much.
his mom yells at him all the time because she's like, "You're playing Storm Spirit again? You should really play other heroes." Like typical Korean mom being
Not
like,
to yeah, actually not to name drop or anything, but I actually know Blitz, and
"Oh, dude,
I get some training from him from time to time, and
oh,
he's coached me a few times. So
oh, he's a nice
uh,
guy."
yeah, no, he's awesome. His girlfriend walked in on him one day, and she was like, "You realize like if Storm Spirit wasn't a hero, like you wouldn't have a career.
Yeah,
Like if
right.
Storm Spirit like didn't exist, like you'd have to have a real job."
That's so hilarious. Yes, yeah, I heard him say that something about that on a different podcast that I won't name here. but uh, but yeah, that's really funny.
Oh, I think I know which one.
Yeah, yeah. But that's cool.
Was Syndrin on another episode of that podcast?
Yes, yes. I listen
Okay,
to all kinds of Dota podcasts. Yeah.
they're good.
hmm Yeah, he's a nice guy
Wait,
though.
there's more than just that one in this one?
No, no, nope. Sorry, just
No,
those two.
no.
um,
There's Offlane Gaming. I know that. That's a podcast.
yeah, I've heard about
They have
that one
some.
too. No, I've seen a couple episodes.
They have more than one.
Okay, so I've seen one episode and one preview of episode two, available
Ah,
on the Offlane uh, podcast, Offlane Gaming podcast Reddit. Actually, they just
okay.
posted a video preview.
Meanwhile, in Dota, doing well on his farm. 24. Mid lane actually seems pretty even. The Invoker's denying quite well, but Lina still has more last hits. So last hits not giving up as much gold as they were before. So I think actually the denies on Invoker are pretty invaluable. But the thing is, Invoker hitting 6 is not nearly as big of a deal as Lina hitting 6. So it's not a scenario where you're worried about dying, once Invoker hits 6. As the Invoker, though, you are worried when the Lina hits 6 because she can kill you.
hmm
So
Great jukes from the Centaur Warrunner, running through easy camp, slipping through the trees. That was pretty slick.
it looks like the Wraith King is. I'm guessing he's building towards the Hand of Midas. So
Right? Hopefully
it
that means
looks
he's
like
going to be
yeah.
farming eggs.
Well, I actually, yeah, Wraith King's actually one of those guys where like he's gonna actually have a pretty good timing on it, but Wraith King's kind of one of those heroes where even if it's not that great of timing, like getting even a late Midas is actually pretty good because getting to level 16 or even level 11 is really important.
hmm
Having the longest cooldown in the game, the level 1 ulti of Reincarnate, so down for a little over 4 minutes. All right, no, right at 4 minutes. Yeah. No, a little over 4, 260. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Looks like he's got the recipe in, so it should be about a 7-minute hand of Midas, 6 or 7 minutes, so good timing there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Anything under 8 minutes. Though I guess timings might be a little bit different in 6.84. Who knows? Maybe now it's like 9 minutes is okay. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, you expect it to be a little bit later just because of the reduced value of the creeps.
Right.
So, yeah, I would expect. So, it's hard because like the hero kills are worth more now. They're worth 10% more. So
Right.
looks like the lion is gonna try to camp out. I don't know. Can
Is he visible there?
I don't think so. At nighttime the vision is reduced, so I don't think
Right.
she should be able to see him right now.
Okay.
Man, my buttons. Okay, so I can't change vision, and I can't open up the shop. My viewing is pretty bad.
I don't know what to tell you. I think I can still open shop. Yes, I can still open shop. So just tell me what you want to know. I'll look it up for you. I'll be your
Uh,
stats man.
can you change the vision?
No. Wait, what? What? Do what now?
Fog of War. So like, can you change the fog of
Oh,
war?
I don't know. How do I do that?
It would be under perspective.
Okay, I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay, I know if you spectate you can, but I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways,
I don't think I can.
yeah, if you're gonna run mid to the gank mid, which I totally approve of because I play mid a lot, and
hmm
I think people have a misconception that mids are supposed to gank. No, you're supposed to gank mid just to PSA for all you out there. And so I like the Lion rotating in, but what he should have done is gotten a smoke and then walked, and then while it was nighttime, because I don't think she could have seen him, he could have walked from here, wrapped around. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I'll draw this on the map, and then wrapped around to right about there.
Yes.
And then that way they can initiate on because Lena has no form of escape, and Lion has a hex and a stun, so
Right.
that almost guarantees a kill.
Yeah, he's a great support rotator in order to force ganks.
Oh yeah, if he's able to get behind the leader and not like walk up to her through the river, like she dies, like because
Mm-hmm.
she's hexed, she can't move very fast. The invoker is able to pull up a tornado EMP, and then by the time that's over, then the lion has his stun up, his spec out, and he's draining mana from her the entire time. Like so, Lena dies. Like
Right.
Lena and invoker like die to ganks, and it's really surprising. It's not surprising. It's just I wish we would see more of it. And it looks like a misstrung strike, really good ult there by the centaur. I don't know if he realized it. Oh, but it looks like the Lena's going to use her ult. Bristleback, she's hitting him from the back, but it still might have enough damage, and she's able to get him
Yeah.
down right there. I don't know if the Centaur intended that, but the Alchemist almost got sniped out by the Invoker. It was a
It was
level
close.
4
Mm-hmm.
Sunstrike, so it was more than enough damage to bring him down. And but he ulted right at the last second and was able to move him out of the Sunstrike range.
Mm-hmm. Nice play. Yeah, he actually moved unexpectedly fast. Yeah. So anyway, as it goes toward mid ganks, you're right about the gank pads, and if anybody wants to look them up, there are some nice YouTube videos from Purge on ganking and the gank paths. And one of the things about this early stage at mid, when Dire does have their tier one tower up, is that the gank path is flexible. You might actually have to work your way across this way instead to wrap around and get them if they're behind tower. You have to watch where the creep equilibrium is, or you might cut in here.
Are you drawing on the map right now?
Yes,
Okay, I can't see it. Can you see my drawings?
I can see your drawings.
Huh.
That's okay. Our viewers can see my drawings, so
Okay.
that's all
Whatever.
that counts.
That's fine.
You and your smileys.
I was nothing works on my side of things. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Uh-huh. I don't know what to tell you. Buttons are broken.
So despite the Wraith King actually, okay, so this is actually really good because I was actually curious about how some of these mechanics were going to work. So look, we'll go real quick. So Centaur's able to bring down the Wraith King. Wraith King might be able to get a stall off though, but he's going to use his ult and get out in time. I don't think he was just out of range anyway, but decided to be on the safe side. Lena, however, is going to go on the Omni-Knight. Omni-Knight is able to get off the repel and is going to chase her down. But only one level of DJ Nora. Oh, nope.
Oh my.
Down too. She's gonna kite around, dance around, throws down the sun, doesn't hit anybody, and Lena's gonna fall right there. All right, so
That was
prior
interesting.
to that kill right there,
Yeah.
the Lena was actually at the highest net worth,
Right.
and let's see, she did have another kill, but okay, and the Wraith King didn't. But so the Wraith King was at okay, so the Wraith King was like almost a full 16 last hits ahead of the Lena,
Okay.
right before she died right there, and he went to the head of the net worth. So despite being a couple last hits, like 16 last hits ahead, which keep in mind, like a hero kill is only worth like 6, or at least beforehand was worth like 5 or 6 last hits.
Mm-hmm.
Lena was actually leading the net worth chart with 2 kills, ahead of a Wraith King who had about 16 or 17 more last hits, and a Hand of Midas, which I think he's probably used twice. So keep in mind, that's an extra 400 gold, and Lena was still ahead of him. So that's actually really interesting for me, just trying to gauge how much hero kills are really worth, because those 2 hero kills were worth more than 15 last hits and probably 2 Hand of Midas uses.
Sure. One thing I can tell you is that after looking at Dota buff in the win percentage charts for just 6.84, I know it's a short sample data size, but Undying is actually number 1 in terms of win percentage at the moment. So,
That doesn't surprise me at all. He's really effective with pubs. Meanwhile, Bristleback's going to chase down the Vengeful Spirit, and she really has no hope of surviving. But then there's the Finger of Death and the Earthspike from the Lion, and the Juggernaut's going to fall down there. Did he have? He did have his Blade Fury up. I think if he had used that, he might have been able to get out. But it also purges off the nasal goo. But Lena brings in, right clicks down the Bristleback. She's gonna try to chase. Will she get enough right clicks in time? Missed her spike. Lion doesn't have any mana, but it's gonna come in from the Invoker. There's a Cold Snap is used. The Forest Spirit is chasing her down, but Lena,
she's pretty fast.
A bit too fast with the couple stacks of the Fiery Soul up. So okay, so he's actually He's actually pretty good in pops because people just don't focus on the tombstone like they should, and he's able to get a lot of kills early. But given okay, so some of the most popular heroes right now, Vengeful Spirit, Bristleback, um, Axe. I mean, throw some other ones out there for me. Like
Um,
that do like physical damage. Physical damage, like I'm trying to think of.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
like AO. I'm trying to think of like AOE physical.
AoE physical damage?
Yeah, like
Oh,
so Bristleback, Vengeful Spirit. I mean that's pure. So, but
yeah.
and then but okay, so
Uh,
like those three. Those
okay.
three are like really popular.
Sure.
No longer can those guys proc spin, wave of terror, or quill sprays to instantly kill zombies. They have to
Hmm.
right click them.
Oh, that's right. They did change the mechanics on those zombies too, right? Something
Yes,
about like number of attacks is
yeah,
how what kills them.
it requires one right click. Instead, they used to have 30 health, and if you sent in a wave of terror, you could kill all the zombies.
Ah.
Now they have to right click, so it's a lot easier for those things to stack up, which means they move slower
Uh-huh.
and slows. Ooh, good Omni Slash able
Oh,
to
yeah,
cause
it was.
strike. He's able to bring out the spin, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Bristleback is able to get a couple squirts out. Lena tries to come in. She's got a DD room, but not going to be enough. But the Alchemist coming with the stun is able to slow them both down. I think she should just cast a casual
Wow.
Dragon Slave there to increase her move speed, but she is able to get out in time. Vengeful Spirit walks in, casual stun. Doesn't. I don't think she realized what she's done. She is going to get nasal spewed and chased down by this Bristleback. Immediately regretting that decision. Snot, boogers, and needles all over her.
I immediately
Bristleback's
regret
gonna
so
nut
many
this.
things.
I don't know if this is a good idea. He is clicking
I
really
don't
hard.
know.
Finds himself out of position. There comes the
Oh,
Lena.
Lena.
Seals.
Might get him in the
She's gonna be
back.
stun right. Just a
Revenge!
little bit too early.
Oh!
Right clicks though are gonna be good enough with the
Yes!
just
With the
enough.
tower. Yes.
A little bit too quick there with the light strike array, but doesn't matter. She does use the ult. Although
Mm-hmm.
I think if she had landed the light strike away, she could have just sat there and right clicked his face, and
Yeah.
she might have been able to kill him. And I mean, she killed him regardless. But I think she might have been able to do it without the ult. But
Yeah, without
regardless,
spending the Laguna Blade. Yeah.
yep. Regardless, I mean, it's a relatively short cooldown, so
Yeah, she'll be fine.
she grabbed it there. But yeah, not being able to kill the zombies in an AOE is
Pretty big deal.
yeah, it was actually a huge buff. And on top of that, he can't accidentally right click himself or misclick a zombie with Soul Rip.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a couple good buffs on a hero that was actually seeing, a little bit of play as is. I think
Oh, was he?
yeah, I think oh yeah. I think
Okay.
AUI looks like there's gonna be a dive on the mid lane. Cold snap, Earth Spike, and some kills and some nasal goo, and Lena falls.
Good coordination.
AUI was talking about it, and he thinks that Undying might have been overbuffed.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You know, I think that's one of those deceptive buffs too, because when you read in the patch notes, it doesn't actually sound like it's a strong Undying buff. It almost sounds like a nerf if you're not somebody who's not used to playing Undying, in that you're like, oh, well, I can right-click down the zombies and it only takes one attack or something. But with your explanation, that makes a lot more sense now.
Well, and the other thing too is so a lot of times it's like you're like he lays down the tombstone, and so your first option is to wave of terror or call or quill spray away the zombies. All right, that doesn't work anymore. You have to actually right click. Okay, well let's just right click the tower and just kill that first. All right, well that's a sound strategy. The problem with that is it looks like this Bristleback is overstaying his welcome right now. I don't think he realized that all three heroes were there and he's gonna get out. Well, so now the problem is like, okay, we're gonna go on the tower. Well, now zombie stacks are gonna pile up because you have to get within range to hit the tower, and Undying will now just soul rip the tower, and he's got more units to pull from. So I mean, it's really just a double-edged sword. Like you can't, if you walk away from it, zombies are going to slow you down at a ridiculous rate, and you're going to get chased down by the enemy team. You
Sure.
can't use spells to clear out the zombie waves anymore. And if you decide to right-click the tower now, or to right-click the tombstone, now Undying has more units to pull from to heal up the tower. So yeah, like his early mid-game buffs were just huge.
Interesting. And we've got the cat correspondent, who
Yep,
will be telling us all the news
that's my
about the
cat.
current meta.
He's an asshole.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, I'll have to live with him though. So it looks like the Wraith King is still topping the net worth charts. He's just enjoying tons of free farm. He's already got a Battle Fury. Not, I don't know if that's the. I mean, it definitely allows for faster farming, but I think I would have preferred a Maelstrom in this area. You're not really going to see any of the Dire heroes close together or that often, but the procs from the Lightning Strike should bounce quite far.
Hmm.
But he's farming, not me, so you know.
Yeah, fair enough. He's certainly welcome to do whatever suits him.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, if they're gonna let him free farm like this, like I think they certainly scale better later than the rating do. I mean, Jug certainly scales really hard, and it looks like the Undying or the Alchemist is so shut down right now that it's not a big deal. So if this Wraith King's able to get 6 slotted,
On the
I
plus side, I'm excited to see the Battle Fury used as a quelling blade. Have you seen that where it can chop down trees now?
yes,
And wards.
I
They can chop
think,
down wards.
and I was looking at that too because I play Ember Spirit a lot, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure because the Battle Fury damage got a little bit of a nerf,
Uh-huh.
but if I was trying to think about it, so like if they're able to get a stack off, yeah. So if I'm able to slide a fist into a creep wave, like
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a small buff to Ember Spirit in team fights where he's able to slide a fist inside of a creep wave because now he does 60 bonus damage to creeps.
Oh, because of the quelling blade aspect of the Battle Fury, huh?
Right.
Ah,
So
gotcha.
he already gets a 50% reduction on creeps for
Mm-hmm.
slide of fist, but now with a 60% increase, and the other thing is, I want to know if that stacks, because multiple Battle Furies is kind of a thing with him as well. So
Yeah, right.
I think that might be a pretty good buff to Ember Spirit if that's the case, to fight within creep waves. Like so, especially like sieging high ground or defending high ground. Like I think his damage output actually it's a pretty significant because we're talking about like defending high ground. Like in some cases you might have 10, 11 creeps that
Mm-hmm.
are now all taking full damage with cleave, and his right click at that point in time is like 300 damage. It's like a Centaur is going to go in mid, and they're able to get out. So Centaur on point, using his defensive stampede this game. I'd like to see at some point in time they try to initiate with it, but keeping heroes alive is always good.
Mm-hmm. It's understandable that that he used it defensively right now. Now that they're on the back foot, though.
Yeah. I think the Dire really have got to organize and try to get a gank off on either the Wraith King or the Invoker. Like they're simply just getting starved out right now. They've got all the map presences belonging to the Radiant right now. I
I
mean,
agree. Yeah.
when your Wraith King is able to farm, Yule's by the Lena, but immediately backs off. Although, there's a Juggernaut, Omnislash, but immediately finds the Ghost Walk. He's going to spin into the Lion, but Bristleback is just going to drop some cute pulls down. Here comes the Guardian Angel. Although, to be fair, there's a lot of magical damage coming from the Lena. A couple right clicks, though, is able to bring her down. Minus armor, and the Invoker deals a pretty good amount of damage. The Juggernaut was able to get away, but
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
it looks like the Bristleback's going to dive on the Vengeful Spirit, gets stunned by the Centaur and the Vengeful Spirit, so not a great stack of spells right there, but Lion and the Bristleback aren't going to pursue.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. Hope the Dire weren't partial to that mid tower.
Oh, it looks like the Wraith King died to Ancients.
Oh, okay.
He really wants that stack.
I guess so. Willing to put us all into it.
Illusion.
I really hope he gets to Ags, because I would like to see it. Have you read
Go ahead.
have you read the patch notes on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I've listened to it.
Okay.
I've read the patch notes, and then I've got actually a pretty long commute, so
Okay.
I listened to Purge, and then on the way back I listened to Blitz AUI, and then we talk about it. So
Oh, nice.
Bristleback is chasing down the Centaur right now. Yule's up from the Lena,
Ooh,
and
dangerous.
still a little bit early on that light strike away. Ooh, and she hits the backside of Bristleback to not do any of the damage, but it looks like they're still going to be able to right click him down. Oh no!
Oh my. I can't believe he got out. And came back in. What is this?
Somebody's on a roll.
I
Walking,
know.
saving his life.
Good Sunstrike.
Juggernaut got one more second of Omni Slash. Is he gonna be able to get it off in time? No, just barely missed it.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, this bristleback is going full
Dire's
tank
top
mode.
tower. You know the
He's
drill.
already got a Crimson Guard and he now has a pipe online. And pipe even got a little bit of a buff this game.
Dire's top tower's getting beat
Yeah, what
down.
was the buff to pipe now?
The aura is a little bit better.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Dire's top tower. You know the drill.
I really like what they did with the items to help out supports. I feel like a lot of balance came back into it, where now it doesn't feel as bad to play support. You don't you don't feel like you're just there to sacrifice your entire being for the carry.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the bus, like a lot of the bus A came to support players, which is always good. And then, but on top of that, they the items now
The Dire
they
might
buffed a
wanna
lot of
line
mid-game
them up.
items,
Dire's
but they
got
also
one
added a
last
lot of
top
late-game
tower.
items too. So it's not just about supports; it's also about carries, making sure they get their farm where they can, surviving during the mid-game. And if they can get to the late enough game and their supports have done a good job to protect their carries and secure their farm, like the late game for certain carries is now way higher than what it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Looks like Juggernaut's gonna get it going on. There's the silence, but the Centaur ult is able to get him back. Stunned by the Lemur, gets 2 out. Laguna Blade down, brings down the line. Bristleback is gonna dive in hard, but it looks like the Omni Knight falls again. See, that's the... And the Bristleback is gonna wisely try to get out. Alchemist is gonna stun himself. Will the Lena time it correctly? Yes, she does. Good timing on her part. Omni Slash coming in. Ooh, but jumps to the creep waves just in time. He is gonna use his Omni Slash to try to see if he can get a little bit of a quicker wave, but he doesn't have. Stunned by
Base.
the Centaur and a double edge, but catches him on behind. Here comes the right click, wave of terror, right click, wave of terror, right click, Finch.
Oh, there's the wave terror.
Oh, she could have
Nice.
done it.
Oh, she was almost there.
The Dire best do something.
She's not going to be able to chase there.
Misplay by B Rabbit right there.
It
Stun
was
off.
real close.
Bristleback was spacing him right there. If he had waved a terror and right clicked him down 2 times, I think he could have killed him.
Yeah, he got the wave of terror, just not the right click right after. But it was real close.
Dire's bottom tower's
That's
The,
okay. I'm a terrible Venge, so
That scenario right there. So the Wraith King went Desolator. I think the Omni got jumped on before he could get his ultimate off. So if the Wraith King had had his exit in that fight right there, he would have revived as a Wraith, and he would have been able to get GA off. Although, to be fair, I don't think Wraith King was actually there for that fight. He is still farming the jungle.
hmm And on the plus side, I think this is actually my son's courier. Do you see this crummy wizard courier on the dire side?
Yeah, I did. It was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Oh man, I
Did you
love
get
it.
that from MLG Columbus?
Yeah, he did. Yep, he got one of those in the blind boxes. It was pretty sweet.
Those are actually really rare. They're
Yeah.
they're worth a bit of money.
Yeah, they're worth like $29 on the community market. They're
I
pretty
think
good.
The plushies are like what, 15?
I think they were 12 when we bought them at
Oh,
the
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
So we made our money on that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I'm gonna go back to the Wraith King. So
Yeah.
I don't mind the Desolator. I actually think that's really good, especially against Lena and the Alk and the Centaur. Even the Juggernaut to some degree, like pretty low armor heroes. The Centaur is building tankiness, so there's that. But I don't mind the Desolator. The problem is it doesn't synergize at all with Battle Fury. I know about the Battle Fury to farm, but at this point in time, since you bought the Battle Fury, you really need to be going for attack speed. So I think an AC would have been better there, or going Desolator with an AC.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense. I really like AC.
Oh, it's really good. Centaur
Especially
is
on Wraith
stop
King.
On the Omni Knight and the Bristleback, allowing the Lean to get out. Here comes the stun by the Alchemist, and it looks like they should all get up. Blink Dagger up in one. Ooh, Quill Spray's not there. Sunstrike to gain a little bit of vision, but it looks like the Dire are able to get back in time. Yeah, the problem is like when you're talking about melee heroes that really just have no form of like instant initiation, you need attack speed to deal damage.
Sure.
Like you're tanky, like you need the attack speed. So like I don't mind the Battle Fury to farm. Like I would have preferred a Milner, but whatever, it works. But since you go with that, like your next items or two needs to be either a stun, which is kind of what he has with the Skull Basher. I don't mind that. but the Deso just doesn't synergize well at all.
Right.
The reducing an armor's target does not increase the cleave damage. So I
Yeah.
think you go like Desolator with an AC or like a Battle Fury, with an AC or a Milner or something like that. I'm not a big fan of the Deso pickup.
Sure. That's understandable. And especially because he's not really one to push base or anything to take advantage of the armor reduction on Desolator.
Right. Tornado Meatball combo following up a Deafening Blast. Good combo there by the Invoker. And looks like the Dire are going to try to recruit, but the Cool Strikes might be able to get down the Vengeful Spirit. Stun misses, but still able to bring him down. Here comes the Light Strike away. Stunned again. They keep attacking from behind. Get in front of the Bristleback. He's too hard to bring down, guys.
Oh my gosh. He is
Alright,
so
PSA,
tanky.
If the Bristleback is stunned, take the extra second to walk around
Radiant
and attack
Mhm.
him in the
towers
face.
taking hits.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. It's
He took no damage.
that's so frustrating too. That's so weird that he walked out with half his health. He dove so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have a heart here. They're not gonna be able to do. I mean, they can do the damage if they hit him from the front. They can bring him down.
Uh-huh.
Duels on the line, Light Strike away, able to bring him down. Stars and Stampede. Here comes the Wraith King ult. He's gonna be back up again. Hoof stop. He's gonna be able to bring down the Juggernaut relatively quickly, but stunned by the Centaur and the Lina. But it doesn't matter. Just too much tanking is coming out from the Dire side, and they're just gonna keep ranking from this tower. Alchemist charging the stun. Ooh, good host stop. Good Light Strike away. Really good combo. I think they were a little bit too quick to the trigger there, but just not enough damage coming out from them. The stuns were there. They weren't quite stacked just right, but I had no problem with it. The problem is they just had no follow-up. I think if they had had the Juggernaut there to Omni Slash into it, it would have been okay.
Right.
Yeah, this Bristleback with the Crimson Guard, Pipe, and now what's going to be a Heart. Literally unkillable. I think at this point, and Repel on the Wraith King, he should just be able to just right click and go ham. Oh, and he is. Oh, he gets a lucky bash on the Lina. She falls down. Bristleback diving a little bit, but not able to bring down anybody else as they're going to back off. And it looks like the Dire are just going to back off with just a little bit for this one. But I don't feel like any reason why they shouldn't just stay and continue to push in. Omni Knight still has GA up. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like they're just going to stay in their base. And I agree with this. I think it's okay. Just given how tanky they are, there's really nothing they can do about it.
I agree.
And with Omni Knight just repelling everyone between the Wraith King and the Bristleback, they really can't stop him either. And here he goes. He's going to dive again, just spamming out the full sprays. This time he's going to go on the Alchemist. Missed stun there by the Centaur. And they're going to come back in a little bit, but I mean, at this point, all it really is resetting. Like, this Bristleback can just stay in this, and there's really nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, he's been standing on high ground for the last 5 minutes.
Juggernaut with trying to micro the Healing Ward. Stunned by the Vengeful Spirit. Immediately done. Stunned by the Alchemist. Here comes Vengeful Wave of Terror. Armor's down. But they're still attacking him from the back. They need to try to get in front of him and stun him.
Well, they didn't really have any options there to get...
The dire structures for now.
And now the Bristleback's just going to go on the Vengeful Spirit. She is in a bad place right now. She might be able to swap to a teammate in time, but it doesn't look like anyone's really going to take that bullet. And the Bristleback is just going to go ahead and bring down the Vengeful Spirit. In the meanwhile, top lane, they are able to bring down the Wraith King. He dies, but his ult is wasted, so good defense there. But unfortunately, he's already level 19, so they just have to wait for another 45 seconds, and he's going to have a second life again. And he's bought a Hyperstone. It looks like he's going to go for the new item, the Moon Shard. So this is what I like to see. I like to see, now that he's got a lot of damage, another stun, passive stun with the Skull Basher, attack speed is really like what he's looking for.
Yeah, let's see the new stuff.
Yeah, the attack speed on that is actually just really high.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's consumable too, right? Isn't that one of the new?
Yes. Well, yeah, but it's half the effectiveness. So
Oh, okay.
the attack speed, yep, and there it is right there. So the attack speed is
Oh, neat.
120, and he gets bonus night vision. If he consumes it, he gets 60 attack speed. So he
Oh,
should
I
hang
gotcha.
on to it for a little while. But yeah, the right clicks are going to be ridiculous. And there's the stun. The Centaur's able to get him, and the Omni Knight is able to get out. But oh, he Omni slashes in. Wraith King doesn't
Nice.
have his ult up again. Oh yes, it does. It just came off.
Oh, so lucky.
Here comes the stun. Meatball Invoker bringing a lot of damage with the Omni Knight, or the Juggernaut is able to spin out of it. Wraith King is just going to town right now. Another stun by the Centaur War Runner allows the Juggernaut to be able to get back, but he's going to be chased down with the Invoker. The Invoker is able to get down the ward. He doesn't have to. Here comes the Star Strike. Is he gonna be able to get the snipe? No, just missed him. Doesn't matter anyway. Blinks over and is able to come down. Luna with a light strike array. Centaur ult, double edge, Centaur stomp, and they bring down the Invoker. Meanwhile, though, the Wraith is gonna go ham on these racks right now. Stun on the Luna, and here comes the attack speed. Boom, 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 and the balls just melts in front of him. And now the Wraith King and the Bristleback are just gonna go ham on these two towers right now. That's a triple kill for the Wraith King.
So brutal. That attack speed really amplifies all of his mortal strikes. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, that and just the ability to skull bash.
Mm-hmm.
And a host stop again, but there's nothing they can do at this point.
No.
I don't even think they can kill Bristleback from the front. He's a bristle front. At this point in time.
That's right. Yeah, between the heart, pipe, and Crimson Guard that he doesn't even need to pop, it's...
I think if they all jump on him, they might be able to kill him, but I mean, even then, I don't know. They've got to stun him, and then, like, they have to... Okay, here's what they have to do. They have to Centaur War Runner stomp, get in front of him, stun him, and then that's... Oh, and that's it. That's gone. And then... Wait, Lion Finger of Death, now the Omni Knight's repelled. He's not going to take any magical damage. We saw waiting for the Luna to come up, and this looks like it's going to be GG.
Yeah, looks like. Oh well, you can't win them all. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's just too much tank coming from the Radiant side at this point in time.
Overall, it was a very good tank lineup.
Here comes the ult, taking reduced damage. Looks like the Lion, nope. Gets the
Guardian
chain off
Angel.
just in time.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like the Centaur's gonna get kited. Wraith King dies, but is able to immediately buy back. And it doesn't matter if the Ancient falls. So GGO's all around, guys. Really fun to watch.
Yeah, good game, guys. I think it was just a contest of tanks, and they just were able to push base and win out. So.
Yep, pretty much. I think the Radiant missed their timing a little, or the Dire missed their timing a little bit. I think they should have been more focused on trying to go around and get a couple kills. Instead, they were getting pressured by the Bristleback and the Omni Knight, which allowed the Wraith King to farm up. And you know, it didn't help that they weren't able to shut down the Bristleback either. He went going 16-2. Gave plenty of time for the Wraith King to farm up a Midas and basically just farm away. And by the time they got to the fighting, the Wraith King was just so powerful that, you know, when they weren't focusing on the Bristleback, he was knocking them down, and then the Wraith King was just, you know, able to right click everyone else down. So.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, Bristleback can create a lot of space, and in the late game, he doesn't become irrelevant. So he's a pretty good offlaner.
For sure.
Yep. Right.
I think the support alch was a bit of a mistake there. I think if you run an alchemist to be like a farming alch, you have to designate him farm. You can't run him as a support to farm everyone else up in ags.
Yeah. Though I don't blame them for trying. It's you know, especially with the new mechanics on him. I gotta admit, I want to play around with an alch a little bit. So.
Yeah, I think if you do it, you either have to send him mid, or you have to send him run like a defensive tri lane and just let him farm like crazy. But like you have to let him get items. Like his first 2 items can't be ags. Like he's got to build some sort of like tank and farming speed item in order to really maximize it. Like.
Oh, I agree.
I
yeah.
think there might be a couple of niche strats. Like I want to try one where like you send Tiny Wisp mid, and then you get like a really good harassing support like a Venge or a Lina or a Visage, and you do farm that 9-minute ags, and then you let the tiny farm look up like an AC, and so now you've got an ags tiny an ags whips tiny with an AC at like 13 minutes, and then you just barrel down a lane.
Oh man, that sounds scary. Very nice.
I want to try that strat out, but.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. Tugs, any last words for the folks?
Nope. Have fun with 6.84 people.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So thanks for joining us, guys. I appreciate it. And once again, if you would like to join in on one of these community nights, feel free to check out the details on WeLikeDota.reddit.com. We usually play Wednesdays and Fridays. Hope to see you in one of them. In the meantime, go out there and get some 6.84. Have fun, guys.